We just want to thank you so much for this opportunity.
Well, thank you. And such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. That's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well.
Donald Trump just held a meeting with the President of Liberia and put his lack of intelligence and incompetence on full display.
Every time Donald Trump hosts a world leader, he finds some fresh new way to embarrass the whole country. This week, he had the President of Liberia over for lunch, and in front of everybody, he marveled, "Where did you learn to speak such beautiful English?"
Such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully?
In Liberia. He learned in Liberia because the official language of Liberia is English.
Say, let's check in on the dumbest president in history.
We want to work with the United States in peace and security within the region because we are committed to that.
Thank you. And such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
They speak English in Liberia. Any questions?
Oh, okay. Let me put myself together.
What's up, guys? Welcome to yet another video. Thank you so much for tuning in. So the President of the United States of America, Donald Trump, seriously asked the President of Liberia where he learned to speak such beautiful English. Yeah, like seriously, this video has been going viral on social media and there's been several reactions. Now we're going to look at what the white Americans have to say about this, and then we'll come out with more commentary. All credit goes to the owners of these videos.
Donald Trump just held a meeting with the President of Liberia and put his lack of intelligence and incompetence on full display. So here was Trump praising Liberia's president for speaking such good English. And then he went on to ask the president where he learned to speak such good English, even though English is the official language of Liberia. Watch this.
Well, thank you. And such good English, such beautiful. Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? Where were you educated? Where?
Yes, sir.
In Liberia.
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting. It's beautiful English.
Sure.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well.
So Donald, he learned to speak English in Liberia, where English is the official language. I mean, this is the President of the United States having high-stakes meetings with leaders of African nations discussing very important things like foreign policy, trade, and aid, and yet he doesn't know anything about these nations. He doesn't even know what language they speak. He is so unfit for office. Oh, and he proves it every day.
Donald Trump asked the president of Liberia, where were you educated and why do you speak English so beautifully? Where were you educated, you bonehead? They speak English in Liberia. Oh my God.
Every time Donald Trump hosts a world leader, he finds some fresh new way to embarrass the whole country. This week, he had the President of Liberia over for lunch, and in front of everybody, he marveled, "Where did you learn to speak such beautiful English?" Jesus fucking Christ, Donnie. Liberia's official language is English. It's been that way since the 1800s, back when it was founded by formerly enslaved Americans. The President of Liberia most likely learned English the same place you were supposed to do it, back in grade school. But nah, Trump sees a black man with a foreign title and just assumes broken English is likely coming next. That's not just racist, that is world-class dumbassery. And the best part about it, President Boakai speaks flawless English, way better than Trump, who talks like someone poured bleach into a thesaurus and let it ferment in the sun. This man really runs around like America invented English. Well, spoiler alert, dipshit, we didn't invent it. People like you and your followers just happen to butcher it with confidence.
Donald Trump just reminded the world that he has the cultural awareness of a potato. At a White House lunch with African leaders today, Trump decided to compliment Liberia's President Joseph Boakai on his beautiful English. Then Trump asked him 3 times where he possibly could have learned such good English. Spoiler alert, English is literally Liberia's official language. The country was founded by free and formerly enslaved black Americans. It's been independent since 1847, about 170 years before Trump figured out how to read a teleprompter. But Trump couldn't let it go. Where, he pressed, were you educated? And Boakai, I'm probably not saying his name correctly, who once walked 300 miles to get an education, politely humored Trump instead of flipping the damn table on him. This is also the guy who once complained he couldn't understand an Indian reporter speaking English, so naturally Trump asked for a translator. Because after all, why learn about the world when you can just be the loudest guy in the room? A great nation deserves the truth. That's why I'm John Arvosis reporting from Washington.
Actually, it's very hard for me to believe that the president didn't know that Liberian's official language is English. Even if he didn't know the history, I'm sure he was briefed before that meeting. He probably didn't care, or he just likes to embarrass African leaders anytime he gets the chance to. Because, I mean, what do you mean by you speak so beautifully, and where did you learn to speak like that? Is it Liberia? And also, I think he needs to expose himself to Africa more. I think he knows nothing about Africa, and he has never traveled to any African country. So he probably thinks that Africa is this deserted place that nothing good goes on there at all. So he's surprised that the president, not just anybody, but the president of the country is able to speak English. The president is like the first gentleman of Liberia. And if their official language is English, don't you think the first gentleman should be the one speaking perfect English then? And also, I was thinking he was throwing shades to the other leaders that weren't fluent in English. Because why did he say that? There are some across from this table that cannot speak half of the English you have spoken.
I have people at this table can't speak nearly as well.
I mean, it's just not fair. Why should English be used as the standard for intelligence or something? Because there are several languages in the world, not only English. So if the person speaks English, it doesn't make the person probably better than the others just because he is speaking English, right?
What's worse, Trump not knowing that the national language of Liberia is English, or ICE agents targeting U.S. citizens from Puerto Rico?
Racism and ignorance will have you thinking that Africa is just a poor pile of dirt with no money or education to be found. Well, let's get some facts straight. Let's start with Liberia, the first African republic to declare independence, and Africa's first female president, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, who, mind you, was awarded a Nobel Peace Prize. They are top innovators. Nigeria has one of the fastest growing tech industries in the world. Their startup scene is booming so much that Kenya is called Silicon Savannah. And Rwanda is ranked one of the cleanest and safest countries in Africa. As for education, Africa is home to some of the oldest and most respected learning institutions. Take Timbuktu in Mali. Scholars gather there before Harvard was even a thought. And their economies, you ask? They are growing fast. Ethiopia, Ghana, and Senegal have had some of the highest GDP growth rates in the world over the last decade. Africa is not a monolith. It has 54 countries, 1.4 billion people, and limitless brilliance. And last but not least, while they have 2,000 languages spoken in Africa, making it the most linguistically diverse continent in the world, and about 25 of those African countries have English as their national or official language, while they still have many other indigenous languages, some of those being French, Arabic, or Portuguese, depending on the country. So not only are they booming in technology, education, innovation, and their economy, but linguistically, they've got the US beat. That's for sure.
Most people do not see this as a compliment at all. And a lot of Americans are really embarrassed by this. Some Liberians also heard that the president will say it because obviously the history of Liberia is that freed slaves from America were sent to Liberia, and then that is how come they formed Liberia. Then their first president was an American free slave. So obviously they sent American culture, American language. So what do you think they would be speaking when all they knew at that time was the culture and language of Americans?
Liberia began in the early 19th century as a project of the American Colonial Society, which believed black people would face better chances for freedom and prosperity in Africa than in the United States. Between 1822 and the outbreak of the American Civil War in 1861, more than 15,000 freed and freeborn African Americans, along with 3,198 Afro-Caribbeans, relocated to Liberia. Gradually developing an American Liberian identity, the settlers carried their culture and tradition with them.
Yeah. I mean, this is such simple thing that you should have known. And I'm sure he probably didn't concern himself or just feel like it's necessary for him to know anyway. It was so funny when he kept asking, like, where did you learn that? Where did you learn in Liberia? Was he expecting the president to say, no, I schooled in America or maybe the UK or some European country. That's how come I know how to speak English.
President Donald Trump is not a champion of the English language, no matter what he tries to say about it. And this latest clip of him praising the Liberian president's English is only more evidence of that.
Where did you learn to speak so beautifully? In Liberia?
Yes, sir.
Well, that's very interesting.
I'm Sophia, I'm a journalist who writes about language and I investigate linguicide, the active disappearing or silencing of languages. Donald Trump is the president who this year tried to make English the sole official language of the United States via executive order. This often proudly multilingual country had never had an official language before at a federal level. And he and his supporters said this was all in the name of unity. This is a president who often praises English, especially when he likes the sound of it.
Thank you once again.
Thank you very much. What a beautiful accent.
He, however, does seem to have little capacity for understanding learners of it.
It's a beautiful voice and a beautiful accent. The only problem is I can't understand a word you're saying.
As we learned yesterday, seems to have zero awareness of the role that English has internationally as an official language. It's official in 58 sovereign states, plus another 28 non-sovereign entities. There are at least 27 languages spoken in Liberia. Like in many African countries, English serves as this lingua franca that can span ethnic and linguistic divides. And English's role as a lingua franca there did not happen by accident. The nation-state of Liberia that we know of today was founded in the 1800s by the American Colonization Society as an outpost for returning freed slaves. Well, there are US presidents and even founding fathers who had different ideas about the English language. One of them even contemplated founding an English language academy in the US. Some have bolstered learning support for migrants. The Office of English Language Acquisition in the US was actually dismantled by President Trump when he signed an executive order directing the closure of the Department of Education, bringing the team down from 16 people to just 1. Of course the Liberian president speaks excellent English. President Trump could do with reminding that it's not only about being able to speak a language, but it's what you choose to say in it that is just as important for international diplomacy.
So many Americans have come out to say that their president embarrassed them. Yeah, and they should be embarrassed. Even the president himself should be embarrassed for saying this. It comes from a place of ignorance. Let me know what you think in the comment section. If you haven't liked the video, kindly go ahead to like the video and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in the next video. Bye.